If you're here wondering what on earth copy tweaking is, I'm about to show you. When I self-published my first book, I had crickets. I didn't realize that if you don't know sales and marketing, you won't reach anybody, and you can't help anyone that you can't reach, no matter how good your product is, no matter how helpful you think you can be or how much value you think you can add. If you can't reach anyone, it's almost pointless. So I started learning sales and marketing, and in that process I realized I learned all about sales funnels and landing pages and how to bring people on a journey with you in an opt-in way, so that it was you received consent at every point in the process, and if people weren't interested, that they could simply walk away. I love this kind of marketing. And I didn't like the options that were available because they were limited in A/B testing. If the importance that I kept seeing was having to learn how to connect with people and focus on copy and storytelling, I wanted to be able to test more than one story at a time. So my husband and I, both with IT backgrounds, we built CopyTweaker. The ability to tweak and test multiple versions of copy, endless versions of copy, to see what lands and what doesn't, or what resonates with people. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a CopyTweak page to show you what I mean. And here you can see we're on the CopyTweaker creation page. You can collect leads, sell a product, book calls and consultations, videos, show your video sales letters and webinars. You can redirect people to services and applications, and you can create thank you pages. If you're familiar with sales funnels, you'll recognize these as just the individual landing pages in the process. And if not, that's okay. That will start to make sense as we progress through the process. And there are other videos that we can create to talk that through. So let's just create one about collecting leads to begin with. And we'll just call it test. Now what we're creating is the page itself that someone's going to land on. And you'll see here, a randomly selected copy tweak will go here. We're going to do the copy tweaks in just a moment. We're going to set up the page first. We can move where our copy is, and we can put other features on or off the page. We can add YouTube videos, and we can put in calendars to book in time. But right now we're just going to focus on collecting one email and sending someone to a homepage. You can send them to other copy tweak pages, which is how you create sales funnels. But for the time being, for this demo, we're just going to send them here. So if I click show me my page right now, all I'm going to see is that it has no tweaks, so please try again later. So let's go back and add our copy tweaks. This is where the power of CopyTweaker really comes in. So I'm going to add a copy tweak. I can use AI, but for the purposes of today, I'm just going to talk you through creation of one. So when you talk to someone and you have something that you know can benefit them, you aren't necessarily going to reach them unless you can speak to them in their language where they are at now. So perhaps you could connect with someone who's really suffering from a pain. So we could test pain points. And we could say, if you're feeling A, then I can help with B. And we can add a copy tweak. But maybe the person you're speaking to isn't focused on their pain points. Maybe the person you're speaking to is actually focused on their dream outcome. So we could try testing wording that is related to a dream outcome and talk about, if you want A, then B. And sometimes maybe you can connect with someone based on how they view themselves. So let's call this self-view. If you consider yourself A and you don't know how to B, then C. All we're doing is creating multiple ways to connect with somebody. We're still trying to either sell them the same product or share the same message, but we're doing it in a way that we can connect with people, because we don't know exactly how we're going to connect with them yet until we start to bring them to our page and then share with them our message. So now if I go to view my page, I get, if you consider yourself A and you don't know how to B, then C. So if you consider yourself a motivated individual and you don't know how to build a new habit, then perhaps you could benefit from reading my book. And we get a different one and a different one. And every time somebody new comes to the page, they're going to see one of the copy tweaks that you've made, randomly selected. And over time, what this is doing is testing multiple versions of copy and collecting data, because data is really important when it comes to understanding how to target, how to find and define your target market, not define, how to find your target market and connect with them. So now we'll just enter an email address, test@test.com. And I'll get taken to the next page that I had in the process. But if I come back to my CopyTweaker page and refresh it, what I can see now is 5 people visited dream outcome, 3 people saw pain points, and 3 people saw self-view. And I assigned 5 points, so there's a score of 5. You can assign different amounts of points depending on what it is you want to see, and if you have multiple things they can do on the same page, or if you have different points in the page you want them. You can create whatever score you want. So now I can see that I have a score of 5, and I assigned clicking that button, entering their email and clicking that button to 5 points. So I can see that, okay, the dream outcome, it landed, but pain points in the self-view, they didn't land. They didn't connect with people in the way that I wanted them to. So if I collected a lot of data and this visit count went up to 500 and across them, and I could see that consistently the dream outcome was getting more people to actually choose to enter their email address, I could disable the copy tweaks that aren't performing off, and I could create a new copy tweak that was focused on the dream outcome, but that tested a slightly different hypothesis. So hypothesis 2. And if you want within this time frame, I might tech that maybe people want to achieve the thing, but they want to know how long it's going to take them to get it. And I could test that copy tweak. And I could add 50 different versions, 100 different versions, 3 different versions, as many versions and variations and tweaks, copy tweaks as I want, and keep sending people to this page either via links that I send them in emails if I've already got a list built up, or via paid ads on Facebook or any other platform that you choose to advertise on, and keep sending people. And you can keep seeing from your visit count that when people see it, and from your score whether they connect with it or not. And you just keep learning and tweaking along the way until you figure out how to talk to people in the way that they need to be spoken to, in the way that they can hear you, and in a way that you can meaningfully connect with them in order to help them with whatever it is that is your purpose and what it is that you are trying to bring and share with the world.